Making slow progress, still here alive. Power's still a problem I can't deny. Ice disappears before I get it home. I must have been crazy to move out here alone. Why, oh why, I didn't think this through. Should've bought a better prefab, this'll have to do. Hangar barely fits the ship I got. Gonna have to make a new parking lot. I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm all of those things. I'm living my dream, whatever it brings. I'm gonna be fine, I'm gonna make it. Agoraphobic engineering, I just won't quit. Sun's about hiding, night's drawing in. I'm way too tired for sleeping. Close my eyes for a minute would be nice. On close examination I needed more eyes. At least now I'm making progress. With ores now refining, great success. I name my little plushies Fred and Bert, and make them watch despite my hurt. I've tried, I've worked, I've almost died. Despite the odds, I've still survived. I'm gonna be fine, I'm not gonna fail. Agoraphobic engineering, I'm on the rails. Power's still a problem, sunshine is the fix. Panels working fine, I just need more. But first I need some more. I'm trapped, I'm tired, I'm feeling the heat. Just a flickering light and fast heartbeat. I'll struggle, I'll shout, I'll scream at night. I won't give in, I'll win this fight. That glowing light is where I'll be. Agoraphobic engineering, you wait and see. I'll just not be broken. Stars are shining bright, and suddenly I'm thinking I'm gonna be alright. I'm gonna be alright. I'm gonna be alright. I'm gonna be alright.
Hello everybody, welcome back. So here we are again. I believe this is episode 4. So, what's the plan for today? Well, I need an outside docking port because as long as the ship is docked in the hangar, I can't do anything. So, I think that's the first thing I need to be doing. Let's go and get into this. So to start with, I've taken a blueprint of the station as it is now, well, as it was when I started, and we're going to need a projector on the base. Obviously, I have one on the solar panels, which you saw in the intro. In fact, that kind of reminds me, where is it? Solar array. We can switch that off now, save a bit of power. This projector is on the ship. USM. There we go. So that's off by default. Also, one thing, while I'm in that menu, something I wanted to change was the startup shutdown. So it's a bit of a pain having to change the antenna's status all the time. So what I was going to do is, if we unlock, there we go, I've already put it on. Whenever we unlock the connector, then we're going to switch the antenna on automatically, so I don't have to worry about that. And because I sometimes mess around with the tank, let me just make sure it's not on there. So yeah, I've already done that as well. I'm way ahead of the game here. So when we undock, I'm automatically going to turn the tank on. Now, it should be on anyway, but there are times when I turn it off just to stop losing or, changing hydrogen around from tank to tank. So that's all done. And something else I wanted to do while I'm in here, we have got a couch upstairs, which I always use when I'm flying. So I've labeled that flying. Don't think I really need it on the terminal. We can have an action set up on the couch. So rather than using an event controller, I was going to put the antenna on. But as you can see, although it allows you to put an action there, there's no stuff, unfortunately. So we can't do that. So I'm going to have to put another event controller down. And before we start, let's just close that door. So we can use a little one, a baby one. And also going to need a large projector. Is that a large projector? Yes. Okay. Hopefully the door will open in a minute. Maybe not. Are we short of oxygen? Oxygen tank. We are short of oxygen. Ooh. That's not good. So forget that then. I'm gonna have to go get some oxygen. Unless yeah, I did bring some ice back as an emergency, so we do have a little bit. How can we do that? Base generator. Put that on. Hydrogen tank. That's filling. No, we don't want you to fill. Yep, so that's a good example. I've switched the tank off because I don't want it to fill up anymore with hydrogen. We want the oxygen. So when I undock that, it'll automatically switch that back on. Right, so let's put our event controller on there. Go back to grey. And that's going to control, let's just call it seated. Good, okay, and then unfortunately I'm going to have to use a large grid projector here, stuck, because we need it to be able to do the base, and I don't really think there's anywhere else I can put it. So what I can do is move this outside later, but for now I'm just going to put it here. So we're going to face it that way out the front. Hopefully that'll make life easier. And we'll just call that base. There we go. So before I do anything with that, this looks like we're going to need... Where are we? We're getting a bit. So I didn't have that much ice, but it seems to be finding it from somewhere. The connector. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll leave that run, get some oxygen built up. So, what was I going to do? Oh yes, event controller. Where are we? Seated. So I'm hoping we can use this. Yeah, so cockpit seat. couch flying, and then actions will be the compact antenna. So when occupied, we want that to be on, and I guess we could switch it off when I get out of the seat. I think that's fine. So that's only the base one anyway. So yes, that was a suggestion, a comment from Randall. Thank you very much, Randall, for the comment. That's a very good idea. I'm not going to actually group the antennas. We're going to have the ship antennas kind of automatic so that when I launch, it automatically switches on. I think that'll work, but we'll soon find that out. Meanwhile, before I get too carried away, that ice is not going to last very long. So I'm thinking I'm going to go get some more ice. Let me just put that somewhere where it makes a bit more sense. It's actually not going down as fast as I was expecting it to with that O2 gen on. We are getting some nice oxygen from it. So yes, I'm going to just test out this system. Let me just check the antenna before I sit down. Compact antenna is off, and the ship antenna is also off, and there's an unknown signal. So if I sit down, now let's have a look. Yeah, so it switched that one on, and that one's still off. Then if I launch, do we maintain control? We do. Perfect. Oh. Apparently I took too long, and now I can't get off. There we go. Okay, so we've got hydrogen and oxygen for now. I will go and get this thing. And yes, I took the blueprints of those half panels and I forgot to colour them in blue. And now that they're on, I can't do it. So they're going to stay like that. Kind of looks neat. It'll do. And as you saw, I did take off some of the top of this asteroid. There's a lot more really needs to come off, but I just wanted to increase the amount of sun that we actually get, especially when it's down the dark side. Oh, here we go again. These things seem to be fine while I'm moving forwards, but as soon as I slow down, they fight me. So this is going to be interesting. Okay, so here comes the funny bit. It's behaving. Nope, there we go. As soon as you get anywhere near the base. I think unfortunately its gyro is as strong as mine, so I can't. Oh, just gotta line up as best as you can and hope you don't crash into something. Come on, up, up, up. Ooh, that's really fighting. Nope, roll the other way. Roll the other way. Nope, that's the wrong way. Oof. A little bit further. Right, now I've got to get it out before it does. Need to spin it round. Oh, spin round. There we go. Shut the door quick. And we got a pirate scout drone up there. That's not good. So the last one of these I did, I was a little afraid it was turning to shoot me. But it didn't shoot, and the little face on it was a smiley face, so I'm assuming no ammo in it anyway, apparently. Where's the button? And another plushie. Okay, let's see if we can bring you a bit lower down, shall we? Get the good bits. Okay, so a little bit worried about that pirate scout drone up there. I'm not sure what attracts them, but there's not much I can do about it at the moment. What are we looking for? That one. Remote. Control. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to park this up a minute and switch my antennas off just in case. Nope, not that menu. That menu. Okay, so I don't switch this antenna off automatically. I actually could do now that we're switching it on automatically. I'm a little bit loath to do that, but I think we'll be okay. So startup shutdown. Can't spell. So it's that one. So when it's connected, it switches off. So we're going to have to remember that's there. But when it's disconnected, it switches on. So we should be okay, I think. Right. So something else that was a viewer suggestion. And thank you for all the comments and suggestions. I really do appreciate it. Now that we've got our base projector, I can load it up with Solitude Station. And we will keep the projection. Now, I need to go to our drone camera here. Oops, hit the right button, and I can't tell where I am. So, obviously I use this for filming to give you guys a better view, so you'll have to forgive me. Occasionally I do have to fly through buildings just to get it back into position, but I won't do that as a normal course of events. So, if we call up the base projector, I deliberately pointed it out, so we should just be able to do forwards. And what are we looking at there? Okay, so it needs rotating. Yaw, maybe? No. Roll. This is just guesswork. Pitch. Looks more like it. Let's just push it away a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Nope, that doesn't look right to me. Okay, just going to fly out a bit further. So that's the antenna and the solar panel up there, so it's flipped around the wrong way. Bear with me a second. Right, I think that's the correct orientation for it. So I'm actually going to call this base main because I may want to have another projector. And you'll see why later when we start messing with things. So if I push that out into space, and this was a suggestion from Chad. Thank you, Chad, and thank you for all the comments. They are really wonderful. I love checking out the comments, and you guys come up with some fantastic ideas. So what this allows me to do is examine the way the base is built with a view to how I can modify it. So we can see the only thing connecting those farms is a conveyor, which must be underground. And so the hangar is connected to it. So we do have here a conveyor junction. See, that's, can't tell. We'll see, but it's definitely under maybe the corner block in the hangar. We can't really access that one, although I could remove the block above it. We can't actually see what's above it. I'm thinking it must be our basic assembler. I think the basic assembler is on that level there. Can I get into the hangar? Yes. Yeah, so I replaced that timer, if you recall, and I put the basic assembler in there. So it's actually that level. Okay, so it's not the assembler, it's the end of the O2. Okay. And then this pipe just simply comes out and goes to these farms with a conveyor junction. So we could extend from that one if I can chisel these blocks out from underneath. And we could extend from this one. Yeah, so the conveyor junction is behind that slope block, which, if I'm very careful, we might be able to grind out and then extend this way. Okay, so we've just got some sun coming up, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom out there. My priority at the moment is an external dock, so what I'm going to do is we're going to slide that back in to, where are we? Try and line it up best as we can. Okay, so that should be perfectly aligned. So then if I slide the horizontal, how many do we want to go? Well, ultimately, I want to extend this hangar out. So we've currently got, what have we got? 3 doors? 4 doors? 3 doors? Like 3 large grid blocks, doesn't it? So we've currently got 3 doors there. So we want to extend it out so that the doors continue for another 3 blocks from here. So what would that be? -7? It's all looking very complicated. And that's gonna be in the way. Okay, I think I'd like to move those oxygen farms away to give us some building space. So let's put the oxygen farms where they need to be, and then we'll see what we can do. So 8 gives us a 1 block gap between farms. Yeah, I'm going to have to do this a bit at a time, I think. Yeah, so that's where the hangar should be on the first iteration. I don't know how big the hangar is likely to become, but if we go another 3, that gives us room to extend the hangar doors twice. That'll give us a 9 block wide hangar door. So that puts the oxygen farms here. Okay, so we're going to have to run a pipe from that junction to the junction under that one. Okay. Right. I think I've got a plan. I'm going to need my hangar because I need to make some pipes. How are we doing on oxygen? Let's just check that. Yeah, we're pretty good. You got any ice left? No. Right, let me switch that projector off for a minute. And let's go get a load of ice, just to be safe, because I need to change the tools on the ship. And yeah, I don't want to do that and not have some kind of a backup. So one thing we can do now is switch that back off again. Okay, bear with me while I go and get some more ice. Right, just while that's cruising slowly, I'm just going to shut the door and get a little bit of stuff. And we're going to lay out some pipes. Maybe the flanged one first. How many we can get in here? finished one on the end of that. So that's 4. I think that's the gap we need. So just going to blueprint that. We'll call that AELG for conveyor pipes. Okay. And close that again, ready. And hope our ship is still in range. Yes, no problem. In fact, it's stopped. That's interesting. Why did it stop? Switch the forward thrusters off. Okay, just coming back with another load of ice. So I did fit an event controller to this to switch the drills off. So just while we're slowing down, the drill stopper is not actually working, and I think the reason is because I've got the drills and everything set up at 99%. It's never actually getting to that. So I'm going to change that to 97%. The reason it's not getting to that is because we're constantly burning ice with the engines running and things. So change it to 97. Hopefully that way we can get to a point where the drills will switch off to tell me I'm full. So just checking the oxygen farms here, and they're in full sun and they are switched on. So that rotor detection that I put in is working. So seeing as we're in full sun, I'm just going to check everything. There we are. Another load of ice. Close the door. And let's have a look at our tanks. 30% stockpile is on. Do I switch the O2 off, I think? Yes. Yeah, so we're still burning oxygen. Even in full sunlight, so we do need more farms. But for now, I'm going to put the O2 back on again, and I'm going to leave the one in the ship, the hydrogen tank in the ship. I'm going to leave that switched on for a minute. Do need to offload the ice though. Right, that should be everything. Right, let's put a few steel plates in. More of those because we've got them. Going to need some more of that. Okay, so we're going to have to be very careful here. I'm not sure I can get to it. So what I don't want to do is to grind the oxygen farm. So, go up the grinder. See if I can get as close to it as I can. That looks Nope, that's doing that as well. Okay, so we're going to weld that one back up. Okay. Don't really want to mess around with the projection that I've set up because we're going to need that. So I think what I'll do is I'll come out of that. Yeah. We need to put a projector down somewhere. It's about the only place I can put it. And call that one base sub. So I'm going to use that one for just subcomponents, such as the pipes. That way I don't have to mess around with the main sort of base setup. Right, keep projection. Now all we have to do is find it. There it is. What was the last one you try, isn't it? Okay, so that's right. And that gives us a 4-block gap, which we said we wanted. Okay. Now the tricky bit. So we want to go back to the other projector. So we can switch that one off, switch the main one on. Oops, on. And we need to go one more block. I think we need to go one more block. I got the stuff. Hopefully you have enough stuff. Yeah, because that's where I said I wanted it to give us enough space for the hangar, so okay. Let us go back to this. Switch that one off for a minute. Switch that one back on. Then that should give us what we need. And I'm going to take that end block off because that's flanged. So now, are we going to have enough components to do that bottom piece? Swap those over again. I don't really want to do the steel, but I do need to do that conveyor. See whether that's completed. No, it hasn't. Can't see a thing. I don't actually want to weld that pipe up underneath, but I don't want to do the one on the top either, so I need to no, it's not doing it. So we're obviously short of something. What are we short of? Small steel tubes, maybe? And motors. That's a little annoying. Right, we need to take that off. Hopefully that conveyor is good. Yeah, I don't really want to weld this trellis work up, so try and sneak around the back here maybe. Okay, so now we've run out of components. Right, let us dismantle this then. So in order to build more, I need everything. Wow, that's taken a while to grind. So, where did we get to? Don't think I can get away with... Well, maybe I can. So I don't really want to build that trellis back up again. Okay, so that should be back to functional because we're using a blueprint. It should all still be part of the farms group. Just trying to think if there's anything else I need to do while I'm here. I think the only thing I'd like to do is take off the extra blocks, because they're going to be in the way if we extend the hangar out. So let's switch that back off again so we can see what we're doing. So we're going to have to be very careful doing this because I don't want to destroy that conveyor junction. Let's see if we can sneak down the side here. Get in there. Just about. Okay, just to be sure, just give that a blast. Oh, that looks good. Okay. Right, let's put that back on again. So that gives us our new hangar position, maybe. Ultimately, we might not do that all in one go. That's quite a lot of stuff to do. And I just noticed these pipes. They're going to be in the middle of the hangar, aren't they? So that's the outside wall. Yeah, that's going to be an air leak. I think of something to cover that up with. Anyhow, for now, let's switch that off. That one back on. And I don't think I have enough stuff to do this, but let's see if we can make it work. So forward. And rotate, no, rotate. And horizontal. Okay, so if I put a connector on the end of that, that gives us a fair bit of working space, doesn't it? Kind of nice to drop it down a level. I don't have that part. Okay, so I would normally put some pipes on this as well, it would be more useful later, and we are going to need an inset connector, which I don't have room for. So if we were to come up from underneath somewhere. It would most likely be to extend out, wouldn't it? So if I put that way around. Okay, we print that. Okay, I want to put the connector somewhere where it can't be welded, so I'm going to rotate that up to the top. And then rotate that round. And then that looks pretty good. Now, do we really want to go out that extra one? I think we do. Because we don't know how big our ships are likely to get, so plenty of room for growth. That kind of just about works, and that gives us a pipe for later should we want to expand out forwards. Lovely. So put a few blocks around that as some kind of protection, and we might have to put a temporary bridge in across there so I can change those pipes out, because clearly that's no good as it is. But for now, at least we have an outside parking area. If I could just figure out where... Oh. Really need a camera underneath this, don't I? There we go. Do I actually want a lock, or should we change? Yeah, I think we're going to have to change back to the drills. Oh, that's not finished. Okay. Glad I spotted that. I'm not going to weld that one up just now. We might not need it. I'm happy with that. I think we've now got the outside dock. What I'm going to do between episodes is I'm going to build a sort of like a landing pad area there, and I'll be using the same process. What I'll do is get this out of the hangar now that we've got a dock. I'm going to put the drills back on it because those are far more important. Just make sure everything's empty. Medium cargo. Those are doing in there. Yeah, see, the welder is full of components. I'll eject that. They'll be all over the floor. What was I saying? Yes, same process. I'm going to build a row of just armor blocks inside the hangar, make a blueprint and lay them down, make our little landing pad, or however I want to design it. But I don't like running with no drills because that's our lifeline. Okay, so I've put the drills back on the ship and I've put it outside, as you can see, kind of precariously balanced on top of, well, nothingness. So in order to resolve that, what I'm going to do is, should we use half blocks or full blocks? I think because it's outside, I think I'm going to use full blocks. And I'm going to build, what am I going to do? I'm going to build maybe a 4x3 if I can get away with it. Run out. More steel. Okay, so that's about the biggest I can build in the base. So we'll take a blueprint of that. Okay, so that's all ready to weld up. I can always slide it about and use it to connect things. I think I will, between episodes, build a bridge across there, cut those two out temporarily, and replace them with something that's airtight. But not going to do that now, because for one thing I've just put the drills back on and I think I'm going to need more iron to do all this steel work. Anyway, that's enough messing around. Thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to all your comments, and I will answer everyone I see as well as I can. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye now.
Suddenly I'm thinking I'm gonna be alright. I'm gonna be alright.